Hi folks, Doug here, Ellis Car Customs with part 2 of the engine reveal / road trip. Thanks for coming back and thanks for hanging out with me. And the likes and the comments and subscriptions they all help the channel to grow. And there's nothing wrong with a little growth, right? So in part 2, we made the journey back down, this time armed with every tool under the sun and a lot of grit and determination and about 35 to 40 degrees warmer weather. So that helped a lot too. So in this episode you're going to see the sweet smell of success as we get the motor ripped out of there and loaded onto the truck. Maybe a couple other surprises along the way. And thanks for coming back. By the way, I got in the mail some more of the stuff I ordered for the upholstery. This is, I'll bring it closer so you can see it. This is the blue that will be on the inside. This blue will be paired with the white on the door cards, you know, the door upholstery, and also like the seat inserts, things like that. So that's our blue. And I did also get the white today, but it wasn't really what I wanted. I expected it to come in a roll like it normally does, like this did, but it came in pieces that were folded. So I don't know if I'll be able to get the creases out of it or whatever. Plus, you know, they weren't as big as I hoped they'd be, like this. So I'll see what I can do with it. But I was a little disappointed. But anyways, thanks for coming back and enjoy the show. So like I said, I was going to purchase an engine rebuild kit for this, and that's what we picked up, the official rebuild kit. 2 cans of Chevy orange and some degreaser. Anyway, at this point in the video, we arrived at Mitch's and finished doing the grunt work. See, what happens with these Tri-5s is, and you probably see it if you worked on a bunch of them, the core support, people will always cut the bar where the radiator goes and pull the engine and transmission together. And we didn't want to cut the bar, obviously, because it was uncut. So we tried to split the engine and transmission. The only problem is, I'll show you this interesting piece here. These things have this adapter ring that goes, it hooks to the back of the engine block here, and the transmission bolts here, and the flex plate is on this side of it. So if you take the bolts out at the block side, you can't get it off because the flex plate is there. But if you want to take these bolts off and pull just the transmission, you cannot get at them. There's just no way. We tried several universals and flopping up and around and over trying to get to these bolts, but you could not get to them. So we ended up unhooking the core support and leaning it forward and pulling the engine and transmission out together. And you'll see that in this next bit of video coming up. I said I didn't do a lot of filming and explaining things as we went. I just kind of let the time lapse tell the story. So this next bit will show us finally liberating the engine from the car. This next bit of video, I couldn't leave Mitch's shop there without taking y'all on a tour of the cars that were in just that building. He has a lot of dream cars spread out over several places. Like I said, we didn't show the outside of Mitch's secret lair because, you know, how the internet is. We don't want people disturbing Mitch and his treasure trove of cars. And I can't, you know, I don't have any problem saying that I'm jealous. There's so many there, and you'll see in this little bit I filmed touring just the shop where the 55 was that we got the motor from. And suffice it to say, there's a lot more that you're not seeing. But enjoy the show. So yeah, what did I tell you? He's a lucky man. And I really thank him for, what he did for me. And to top it all off, he's just a really nice guy. I enjoyed hanging out with him. And I'd love to see where he goes with some of those cars. But moving right along, we got the motor loaded up and headed back for home. So that's what we got for you today, folks. Glad you stuck around for part 2. Like I said, we got big plans and we're making them happen a little bit at a time. Right, Wait Toes? We're, like I said, we've got a plan for the motor, and like I said, you can cast your votes to whether you would go standard or automatic with the thing. I mean, automatic is one of them things where it's a little easier to plug and play. You don't have quite so much going on. Want to get down, buddy? There you go. But I do like rolling my own gears, so they both have their benefits. But I appreciate you hanging out with me in the garage, and hope you keep coming back for more and more punishment as we plug away on this project. Other than that, have a good one, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.
On through the night we drive. Thank you.